I'm gonna get it out though. We're gonna be talking about self-care. I have to tell you the whole story so that y'all know how I got here. So, as you can see from the title, this episode is about how I found my glow, how I maintain my glow, how I take care of myself, considering my childhood in foster care and going through divorce. And I had to take time to sit down and really get to the core of my self-care to live a long and healthy life. I want to live until I'm at least 100 years old. But I didn't learn love through comfort. I learned love through correction. It can save you, even if it doesn't feel like love. Discipline, faith, and resilience. From foster care to becoming the first Black African American female to be employed as a tennis professional by the city of Tallahassee. I should be a statistic. I should be homeless. I should be incarcerated or worse. Shouldn't be here. I want to share how I got here and how I learned to cope with stress and how to nurture myself. My sister and I, we lived in a neighborhood of retired and elderly. Urged to visit them and help them hang their clothes. And this was per our first foster mother, so I learned service. And that was just one of those things that we learned we were allowed to do independently as a child at 6 and 7 years old. We were allowed to go to our neighbor's home, have conversations with them because they were alone, and that brought them so much joy. Just seeing us walking across the street, they would get excited, and they would sometimes have pets, and we'd help take care of their pets. We would cats actually, because they would always have litters, and every spring we would take care of the kittens. And we were in a neighborhood. We were still raised like we were raised on a farm. We would garden. We would hang clothes. We would hand wash clothes. We lived a very modest life, but we were very well disciplined and well read. I was raised in foster care by a woman named Miss Royster and her husband, and she was unapologetically firm, strong, and structured. She didn't say "I love you." She taught us accountability. My sister and I started foster care at age 2 and 3. From that point, she took us under her wings, and we learned how to wash clothes by hand. I think I already said that. We learned how to sew. We learned how to garden. We learned about religion. We learned how to pray. We went to church every Sunday. We went to Sunday school religiously, and that's where I met God. That's where I also realized that God gives you gifts, gives you these gifts at a very early age, and you can tap into them easier when you're younger, and they call you a prodigy. That intrigued me. I wanted to be a prodigy. I wanted to do something remarkable. I've listened to a lot of Whitney Houston. My biological mother, she was deaf, mute, and pregnant with me at 14. She was put out of her parents' home, and she lived on the streets of Daytona Beach, Florida. And she had to learn how to survive. And her silence taught me early that strength doesn't always speak. We were rescued by Department of Children and Families. We were called miracle children. We were sick and malnourished and very frail. My sister lost her kidney at age 3, and I was told that I might have to give mine if she lost the other. My sister survived. She didn't need another kidney. I still have both my kidneys. She's now alive and well and working. Continue on with this story. My foster brother served in the Army, and when they come home, they drill us, sprint, and just focus. We would race, we would jump, they would teach us all kinds of things. As we got older, our mother wouldn't allow it, but we would run as fast as we could and race towards them and jump into their arms, and they would throw us in the air and catch us. That felt amazing. Knowing that you can have that much strength as a man was remarkable. And we wanted to impress our brothers, so we did what they did and we followed their instructions to the T, and we look forward to their visits every year. They taught us how to fight, they taught us about service, they taught us about duty, even how to march. The discipline has never left us. My sister went into the army, the military. I never wanted to join the military. It was too regimented for me. I never felt like that would be a place that I could thrive in, forcing you and ordering you to do things, and you have no. I knew that I was strengthening my body, but I would never go into the military. I never did. But my sister, she did, and she enjoyed it. She was a EMT. She went to become an officer, twisted her ankle. She wasn't able to actually get on to that team. She has since gotten out of it, and now she's a traveling nurse, thank God. So that discipline, to me, that is what helped me become the tennis professional that I became. Years later, it blossomed. I taught myself and trained my body until my body and spirit moved as one. And within 2 years, I was winning USTA tournaments. I'd been invited to go to nationals in 2014. Attended nationals, competed. In second place, my court won. We lost the other 2 courts. That kind of impressed the city, and they offered me an opportunity to come work for them. And it was an amazing experience to be in a community so kind, so loving, so supportive. They're still supportive. I loved every minute of being a tennis pro. I love self-mastery. That's something that I knew I needed. Everybody was telling me what to do as a child, and I knew what I wanted my life to look like. We had a lot of therapy as children, and I really connected with my therapist, speech therapist, especially because I struggled to enunciate my words, and she was very, very patient. She taught me that way that you speak is how you express yourself, not just by the words. Her soft tone, her gestures, her demeanor. You have to really be relaxed if you're wanting to talk like I'm doing now. Take some breaths and relax, do deep breathing. And this is a series, so I'll give you more of those types of tips, but first I just want you to understand it's not something that I just picked up. I learned how to discipline myself as a child, fasting and praying, reading. We had encyclopedias. We were shut off from the world. We were very sheltered. Our mother would not allow for us to go hang out with other kids in the neighborhood, nor hang out after school and be in clubs. So it was just me and my sister as far as socialization, and it's very lonely other than talking to my neighbors. Tennis taught me how to breathe. It taught me how to lead with calmness and just how to respect the process. So it became a pillar of knowing that if I do something over and over again, I already knew this, but doing it in adulthood was completely different. So knowing that I can still put those same discipline, those same habits in place that will create my destiny, and I want more of that. I'm going towards that. I'm going towards that feeling. Refine me. Now I know how to lose weight and how to gain weight and how my body reacts. That's another thing. Knowing your bodies, which is motherhood, because it made me get in touch with my body. When I had my second child, I decided I didn't want to go to the hospital. I wanted to have a natural birth, water birth. She was our love child, and I wanted her to be as pure as possible. I didn't start drinking till I got married, which was 32. What did I used to say? Just high on life. Just lived high on life. Just happy to be. Motherhood refined me even more. It forced me to be patient, compassionate, consistent, It gave me somebody to love though, and that was so easy for me to nurture my children and love on them and kiss on them and teach them. I learned how to love through action and create peace for my children, and even though I didn't have it yet for myself. So now I have sacred boundaries. I have things that I do and things that I don't do. Things that I'm working on not doing and improving and working towards perfection. Progress, not perfection, is one of my quotes that I love. I don't know who came up with it, but a scripture that I like to lean on is Deuteronomy 11:11. The promised land and the promises of his sacred right here live. My thought on my sacred boundaries. Only ears pierced, no tattoos, modest adornment, clean speech, no cursing, a quiet spirit. Those are my fruits. And then I have a little humor here and there. And I do this because it has kept me. It's kept me preserved. It's kept me at peace for the most part. And I haven't had any real regrets about piercings or tattoos. I see people get them all the time. I love them. If it's something that God says not to do, and it's already things that I'm doing that not healthy, it's not the healthiest, then I will sacrifice that. That's a sacrifice, okay, for me. Another sacrifice that I have is I promise God, if I were to become a singer, it would only be to praise his name and to uplift him. So even though as a child I wanted to sing, I knew that I would only be singing his praises for him if I wanted to do it as a profession. And every experience has taught me foster care, motherhood, tennis, entrepreneurship. It has taught me to protect myself. It's taught me integrity, and it's taught me self-mastery and divine femininity. Wisdom. It's not weakness, it's wisdom wrapped up in grace. So I don't walk in validation. I do like affirmation, but I walk in vocation. When a woman submits to divine order, you're unstoppable. That's my freedom story. Okay. I forgot to mention, I'm also celibate. I've been chaste since 2018. Become celibate, gone without having sex. It's not hard. It's hard to not talk about the topic because a lot of people love talking about it. I learned to not do it. Not to share my body, which saves you a lot of headache. I learned at a young age. I had good brothers and I had bad brothers. Just really taught me to be very hyper aware of subliminal cues that are red flags that helps me identify if this guy is a good guy or a bad guy without the guy ever saying a thing. I'm looking just at him and observing him and knowing this. Listening to him, of course, hearing his voice and seeing how he talks to other people. But super observant about that type of thing. And having that experience, if you know what I mean, caused me to develop early. So I developed at a very like age 9, my monthly. I think I always had it because I remember being in school and I would look at the Caucasian girls and how their pants would go straight up their back and just how mine would poke out in the back and it would never be flat and I would have to wear a belt. So I think I already had that. So I was very attractive, which put my mom on overprotective mode because I was very developed at a very young age. So a lot of this that you see It's just based off of my genetics, my regimen and discipline, and supplements, because I've had COVID 3 times. Now, as a child, we took a lot of antibiotics too. And because of that, that's why our system, I believe, is so resilient. That's why I'm so strong now. But COVID, it wiped a lot of that strength. It took a lot of my strength away during that period. And I had it back to back twice in 1 year. Needed to rebuild my immune system. My gut health was poor, and being depressed and just going through it. Just being honest with you. So if you look up here, I have my supplements and okay, supplements. Singular is the company that I chose. It's a holistic, high quality ingredients. It tastes amazing. You put this in water, you mix it, you mix the prebiotic, the probiotic. You just take that with the collagen and the trim stick. And that is what brought me back. So yes, I'm sacrificing a lot of things, but it's not, to me, it's just my normal, the default. Grounding myself in God, being disciplined, and being resilient. And then, I don't know if I'm looking at the camera. Y'all forgive me if I'm not looking at you. I'm looking at myself, but I'm not looking at you all. So the other thing I wanted to tell you all is make sure, the other thing I would say is to listen to your body. You're the only one who really can tune in and know what's going on. You can explain it to the doctor and they can guess, but you know. And this is something that was taught to us as well as children, because my mother had arthritis and she was always aching and in pain, and she would explain how the pain would start and how she would cut it off before it began. Let me just dive into that for a second. I'm gonna keep this going and I can cut it, just make it a little longer. But yeah, so listen to your body. Listening to your body lets you tune into what's in pain. So whatever is in pain, that's what you need to target. If your back is hurting, if your shoulder's hurting, if you've been sitting too long, like my neck gets super tight right here in the back, and you have to like do something to loosen it up. You can't just let it continue to hurt. So if you're not in touch with your body, you're not gonna really know how to fix yourself. And over the years, I learned how to fix myself. I learned how to cope with the stress. For the most part, I'm still learning some things to make myself better. But yeah, when I feel anxious, I go for a walk. When like I'm feeling now, like when I wake up, I feel like I'm sluggish, I'm gonna take my supplements. I'm gonna go sit out in the sun and get some sun, natural sun. I'm gonna drink black coffee, get some black coffee. I only have a cup somewhere. It's empty, but I'm gonna go get some. It's black coffee. It's not the greatest for your teeth, but I need it in this season. So that's what we're drinking. Sleep. Sleep. This season is all about rest. 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 And you combine all those good. Brain, body, brand. So today I fasted. Wasn't trying to, but I had a lot to do. And now we can wash our face. first, let me show you my progress as well. We created a YouTube channel called Lofi Dream Escapes, which helps me rest. That's one of my disciplines, my self-care routines.